Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Sunday, September 11th. Welcome. I hope y'all have been doing well. It's been 6 weeks since my last confession. That's what it always feels like. Time just gets away. I kept meaning to, and other stuff was going on. It's just how it is. Anyway, I've got things set up. We're ready to go. Dax is at the office. Wyatt's not here. And unfortunately, Kirsten isn't feeling well. So I figured, you know what? Right now I've got time. So let's do it. It's been our usual crazy around here. I will tell you, I've got doors on both ends open, just trying to pull a little breeze through here. So if you hear a lot of outside noise, I apologize. It's really pretty quiet out there right now, so it's all good. Since the last time we're together, like I said, a lot of stuff has gone on. Kirsten and I went over to Addison and Jacob's apartment. They were gone for their honeymoon, and we went over and left a little surprise for them when they got home. It's what my family does. And I'll insert a video here because I'm learning. So I'll put that in here. All right, here we go. Addison and Jacob are coming back from their honeymoon today. We've left them a little surprise for when they get home. I'm crunching everything as I move. Oh. Here we go, yes. Goldfish everywhere. I can tell you this, we way overbought those. There are a few goldfish who are now deceased, yes. And there are a few that have made their way into places that will not be found probably until they move. Let me see, Kirsten's already put some of these. We'll have to move them back. Here's the laundry room. We were going to be nice and put their broom by the door, but we decided, heck no. There are a few empty spots, but we're going to fill those in as we back our way out the door. Here's proof that Kirsten, the super nice one, helped. It was actually her idea, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so. It was Addison's idea.
Yes, Addison, way back in February, sent me where somebody had done this to someone's apartment. She thought it was so funny. So I thought she'd appreciate it too. There's an overall look. They're on top of the chairs, on top of the table, on the desk, under the desk.
Inside the candle.
On the couch, yes, inside the candle. We did put down stuff for the ants before we did it, and non-poisonous stuff, and we have locked the cats in the bedroom and bathroom area. I can't wait till they get home. We're disappointed that we won't be able to see them though.
True that. That'd be great to see.
I hope y'all liked that. Addison thought it was hysterical. I didn't think of that on my own. Addison had sent me a video way back in February where somebody had done that, and she thought it was so funny. So I've known since February we were going to do that to her. I think we used 10 of the big things of the goldfish crackers. Addison thought it was hysterical, like I said. Jacob, I'm pretty sure thinks we're assholes. But it's okay. He's been around long enough, and if he's going to be around long enough, it won't be the only time he thinks so, I'm sure. Kirsten and I thought it was pretty funny too. Although Kirsten is a much kinder, gentler person, and afterwards she's like, oh, I hope they don't get mad. And I told her, you are failing at being evil. Come on, you got to step it up. So anyway, we had a lot of fun with that. But I guess we can get on to the stitching because there is a lot of it. So we'll start, because I'll forget it if I don't, with Wyatt's stocking. It's a Dimensions Gold kit. I was going to have this done by their, everybody's stocking was going to be done by their second Christmas. They were born in late November, so first Christmas was out of the question. They'll be 24 in a couple of months, so apparently second Christmas was out of the question also. But look at where I am. Are you seeing this? Can you even believe this? I am down here in the bottom at the toe. You can see it's rounding off. This is on my list of 20 items, my 20 and 22 finish, which I won't by any stretch of the imagination get all 20 done. But you can see it's curving back around to here. This right here is all I have left to fill in with actual stitching, the cross stitching. Now, there is an absolute ton of back stitching that goes into this. I've done a little tiny bit up here, but I am thrilled to be this close to getting the stitching done. And moving on to the back stitching, like I said, come hell or high water, I want this one done this year. This is my absolute oldest piece, and it's 23 years old, I guess. So I'm really excited about that. I worked on my Brooks books, Animal Advent. I'm sorry, it was wadded up. I took it with me yesterday. So it was wadded up in the bag. Addison and Dax did a mud run yesterday. It was advertised as a 5K, I believe, but the course was a little bit short of that. I took this with me. I did not even pull it out, because with the contestants that were coming through and at the finish line, they had a big, long bunch of soap, and I didn't want anything getting on there. I would have been really upset if somebody flung mud on it. But their clothes from yesterday are in the middle of their second wash. I put them in, let them soak, agitated it a little, let them soak longer, did a first wash, and now we're on to the second. Anyway, back to stitching. I was supposed to do half of 19 and get all of 20 finished in August. And as you can see, I failed miserably. And mostly because on the owl, I didn't have one of the shades of gray. And so I just let it sit there until I finally was just like, come on, Taryn, just pick a gray and work on it. So I've got the owl a little more than halfway finished, and then there's some branches and ornaments hanging. Hopefully today will remain such that I could get some work done on it. Because even after Dax gets home, Addison and Jacob will come over for their Big Brother marathon, and they're many episodes behind. Like, I think they've got 5 or 6 to watch. So, and I actually have things that y'all probably not probably, you haven't seen in a while because I haven't stitched on them in forever. So you get to see something besides the same old ones every time. And one of them is this fall leaf pattern. This is who it's by. I'm not sure if it's a PDF from Etsy. But I'm not even sure that that store would still be up right now because I do not know if it's a Russian designer. So, anyway, and I don't know if that was the store name. This is some linen that I started it on. And that was my start originally. And I pulled it out to work on it. And I hated this linen when it was white. And I don't know why I thought that if I dyed it, I would hate it less. Because I don't. I pulled it out to start working on it and was like, no. So I pulled out another piece and got about, this is an 18 count Ada, and got about the same amount done. So we're like 2 years into this, and there you go. It is stunning. Right, Shelley? This was one of my new starts. Lizzie Kate. This one is Joy to the World. This was gifted to me from Sherry Smith. And I had a bunch of stuff going on the day that I started this. If you're new, I'm trying to start a new start every Sunday this year. And this one, there was too much else going on, but I was determined to at least get a start. So I did. I don't know if those are called for colors or not. And quite frankly, this is I think it's an 18 count. We'll see if the whole thing will fit on here. Sorry. It should, but I'm having my doubts. So it may just say Joy. I may have to drop the trees and stuff. We'll see. The sun just came out really, really hard over here, so it's like glaring. I worked on this pattern, Winter in a Cup. This I saw Heather Confetti Stitcher working on this one years ago. And this is also an Etsy pattern. You can see down here the name. I haven't done a whole lot. I'm right here. When I pulled it out, this is an even weave. It looks like it's probably a 16 or 18 count even weave. It's a gray. It's really thick. I mean, it's thick like from a wool skirt or something kind of thick. But I picked it up to work on it, and I found out that the last time I'd worked on it, excuse me, the last time I had worked on it, I was off. So I had to pull a bunch out. Basically got back to about what I was when I pulled it out. So no actual progress on that one. But it's nice to get it out again. Out of this July-August 92 Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. Look at that stocking. Isn't that awesome? 1992. Yep, still had a different last name. I'm working on this one. This one is on my list of 20. It will not be done. Here I am. But I can tell you, I absolutely love the way the shading is working in here. That just, it blows my mind what designers can do with thread. Just blows my mind. This is one of my new starts, which I have zero business doing. Absolutely none. It is another full coverage. I'm doing so well on my Mystic Stitch Solid Tube. I'm not even sure I've worked on it since last time. And even if I have, you wouldn't be able to notice. Which a page finish on it is on my list, but at this point, I may be able to push it to a page finish. But I started a new full coverage piece. It's from Cross Stitch Collectibles. It's called Mountain Air. I think it is absolutely beautiful. I mean, that's right up my alley. I had not made any working copies, and I didn't want to mark on my pattern. And this far in, I was getting lost. So that is all I got done on my new start. I was like, okay, put it up. Just put it up. I have since made a page copy so that the next time I pull it out, which, who knows, could be another year, I can do better. We'll see. We'll see. Like I've said before, I feel better having started things that I've spent the money on, even if it takes me years to finish something small. I don't care. At least I was using what I spent the money on instead of having it just sit here. Out of this July-August 86 Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine, again, look at that stocking. I am working on all three of these. And I watch a lot of people on Floss Tube, and they talk about how their tastes change and everything. I guess I'm too stubborn for that. I don't know. I've had all three of these marked in these books, in these magazines, since I got them, and I had a subscription at the time. So they've been marked since 1986 that I've wanted to do them. So finally, all these years later, I actually am. So that's how much I have done on this one. It's just one of the quilt squares up in the corner. Love my little cat from Colbin. How freaking cute is that? I worked on this. This one is on my, I don't know what it's called. I call it Summer Flowers or Flower Tree. I call it Flower Tree. It might be their summer one. I'm not sure. Because I think this spring is like in pink. So I think this is the summer tree. I call it Flower Tree. And this one is on my list of 20. And I hope you're sitting down because bam. Honey, hush. Do you see that? Woo-wee. I finished it. I got close and I was like, that's part of the reason that I didn't work on Animal Advent one of the weekends I was supposed to. Because I try to work on it every Sunday. And I was like, nope. Y'all are on your own. Leave me alone. Because I am almost finished. I put in the back stitching on the butterflies. This pattern calls for hardly any back stitching. I put a little around the beak right there so it would show up. It doesn't even call for that. But now, what am I going to do with it? I have no idea. But whatever. It's done. And it's another one off my list of 20. I'll take it. I'll take it. I did not anticipate it getting done. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's a bonus. Because, like I said, I didn't anticipate it getting done. With Wyatt's stocking, I kind of feel like getting it done is the biggest win, period. The rest is all gravy. I worked on this one. Again, this is, again, on my list of 20. I've worked on it one time before. In my list of 20 every year is my 20 oldest patterns. So, my 20 oldest whips. So I had worked on this one time when I started it, and it's never come up again, and it's already made it to my list of 20. That's pathetic. And it's a Dimensions. If you've watched me very long, you know I have a love-hate relationship with Dimensions. But this one's pretty old. 1983 is the copyright on this one. I'm not going to do all of the dots in the background. I do know that. I'm not going to put all of those in. But this one doesn't have, it's really basic. It's not like a typical Dimensions at all. So that's what I have done now. This time, when I picked it up to work on it this time, all I had before was like right here. Maybe a couple of lines above this. And that was it. So I got all this done, and I came over here to start outlining the coffee pot. So, again, I don't think this one's going to get done this year. Just putting that out there. Since the last time I did a video, I had my birthday. I turned 56 years old, which just kind of blows me away. Where do the years go? I don't know. But what I had asked for, usually I just give everybody a list of 10 floss colors that I want. But this year I told them I wanted bird feeders and bird seed. And that's what I got. Everybody got me a bird feeder and everybody got me seed. Except I think Wyatt just got me a feeder. But he got me this extremely fancy feeder that's designed that the squirrels can't eat out of it, because they do eat out of the other ones, which it drives Dax crazy. I really don't care. Dax got me 80 pounds of bird seed. Kirsten got me a hummingbird feeder and a really fancy one, and they love it because they can actually sit while they eat at it. And Addison and Jacob got me a feeder and some seed. And Dax told me that I was really getting old because I wanted to sit around and watch the birds. He spends as much time watching them. He stands at the kitchen window because we have everything outside the kitchen window, because I really wanted something that while I'm in there cooking or doing dishes and stuff, I could watch the birds. And he stands there every morning eating his bird food. Eating his bird food. Eating his breakfast, watching the birds eat. And if they run out and I haven't been out there yet, he goes out and fills the feeders and all of that. So he's just as, if it's an old person thing, he's right there with me. But this is how I think that I'm just married to the most wonderful man. And there are a million people in this world this would not matter to at all. But when he went and hung up the feeders for me, because some of them I couldn't reach, he took the screens off the kitchen windows and he cleaned the windows so that they were all pretty and clean for me to be able to watch the birds. And I said that it was really kind of nice not having the screens on there, because it was easier to see through them, you know, to watch the birds without the screens. So he has not put the screens back on either. And that, I promise you, is killing him. But he's left them off because he loves me. And who could ask for more than that? I'm just saying. Anyway, that was about the excitement for my birthday. We did not go out to eat. I didn't leave the house. They said, "What do you want to do today?" And I said, absolutely nothing. I don't want to do anything. And I sat around the house most of the day in my pajamas, and I loved every minute of it. I think I even took a nap. I worked on Abigail's stocking. Again, a Dimensions kit. This one is not really basic. It has, you know, the Dimensions stuff with the blended threads and using 2 threads, 3 threads, 4 threads, whatever. But here we are with hers. Hers is really coming along too. If we weren't already in September, which is unfreaking believable, I would feel like I might be able to get hers done this year, but I'm not banking on it. I'm thinking early next year. I'm hoping early next year. After this time, I filled in all the cuff and the book and all of that stuff. But there's this snowman and the cat, and then to bring the border down. I don't have it down all the way, obviously. But it's coming along too. And on this one, I have done much of the back stitching as I go. So that makes me really happy. It's not like the Wyatt's where I'm going to have to go back and do it all. This is another new start. It is out of Cross Stitch Gold. I don't have a date though, I don't think. Oh, anyway, it's a bunch of different birdhouses, and I'm not going to do them all on the same thing like this. I'm going to do little separate ones and do like little pillows probably. And I believe I started with this one. And the reason I chose that one is because I had this little scrap of 18 count, and that one should fit. Like, I started in the middle, and this is the bird's tail, like right here. So this is as far out. It really should be a pretty narrow one. So there you go. There's my start. I like it. Here's the colors that I had. I like their, I don't know if you can see them very good with the sun. It's weird because they're kind of soft colors, but they also feel bright. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. And then I worked on, this is the Amish for the cats and quilts. I showed you this one earlier, I believe. The Appalachian. Yes. So worked on the Amish. I have the most done on it. So got the 2 blocks. This is as wide as it's going to be. I've got it from edge to edge here. So, and you can see the handle for the basket and everything. I got something on it. I don't know what that is, but it should be plenty far enough that it won't affect anything. I feel like I want to get 3 of the same frame to put those in. Maybe a triple frame. I don't know. I worked on this one. It's another one you haven't seen in a while. It's called Flowers for Mommy. It's a Jan Lynn pattern. I call it Little Kirsten because when she was little, I used to put her hair up like that, and that is so much how she looked. I am doing this on a kind of greenish with just like a little hint of blue. The color linen. It's got little splotches of tan in it, but there we are at, actually, I think it goes up like this, her dress. So, and that linen may be something I also got from Colvin. I worked on this, which was a Jan Lynn freebie. Look at, you can see my mess trying to keep up. And I finished it. Look at me go. This one is also on my list of 20 and 20, so that just helps, right? There were a few small things on there. This was one that I had done, I think these 2 flowers on other fabric, and I hated it, so I restarted this in July. and got it done. The other had lingered for a couple of years because I hated the fabric. So, and in the pattern, you can see the, oops, maybe you can't because it's blurry. The bag stitching on here is just kind of all over the place. I did lines. I, for one thing, didn't want to try to follow that, but I just wanted lines on my bee skep, my bee skep. Sometimes I forget that we're more refined people and they're not just beehives. I worked, this is another new start. Cute as a button. I don't know where, it's out of the January 2018 Cross Stitcher magazine. I started on Santa, and I really wasn't feeling it much that day. My neighbors are back. They were doing some more work over there across the street, clearing and stuff, and every time they do that, my allergies go insane. It actually got to the point where they were making me feel so bad. I had to take the prescription stuff, which just knocks me out. Generally within 30 minutes after taking it, I'm out and am unaware for 10 or 12 hours. So this was during that time, so that's all the start I got at the bottom of Santa's beard. These are finished on buttons. I may do that. I haven't decided. We know how I am. It's not like I have to decide right away or anything. I worked on this Summer and Chalk, which is one of the collaborations between Priscilla and Hands On Design. This is from Just Cross Stitch magazine, June 2016. That's the chalk drawing, and then there's the cross stitch. And I'm just doing this on a black piece of Aida, and I have myrrh. This right over here is where the page breaks on the pattern, and I'm really close down here to the bottom. The R comes around and kind of curls around a little bit more, but instead of going all the way down to the bottom, I decided to come in and fill in some of the flower. More of the flowers in the middle. I'm working on that one right there, I believe. So, anyway, I love the way the colors pop off of here. My niece had her baby, a little girl. So that was kind of exciting. They live in Colorado, so I don't know any time that I'll get to see her. So, from Bal's Stitch and Stuff, except for the pictures. I've seen pictures of her. My mom sent me pictures, and my brother has sent me pictures. And for a newborn, in the pictures that I've gotten, she is very alert. It's kind of surprising. Anyway, from Bal's Stitch and Stuff, we have the feline seasons. I'm not doing mine all together. I started out with that intention, and I messed this one up and made it one row too short. And I didn't want to have to do that on the rest of them. So I cut this one. I finished it, cut it out, and I decided to just do them individually. I am working on Summer right now. Oops. So here we go. That's where we are on this one. When I picked it up this time, I didn't have, I think I had like 2 stripes in the tail. The orange of the cat was like way up here. So I finished that, put that in, and I came down here. I put in the green stalk and came down with the blue and everything. There will be a sunflower button that goes right here. Now, This is going to blow y'all away. This is being stitched on an even weave, 2/2. I'm using the Weeks Dye Works. I've bought all the buttons. I know. I never use the fancy floss, but look at me go. I'm doing it there. From Heart and Hand, Perfect Pumpkins. This is one that I had started and hated again, the fabric. In general, we're just going to go with linen is not my thing. Especially when you get some of the linen where some of the threads are so fine. I just mess up. I go so much slower. I do not love linen. I have a few things, but only a few. This is one that I hated the fabric. I restarted. I got farther ahead on the day I restarted than I had been on the original fabric after working on it a few times. So this time I think I finished the word pumpkin. I don't think I had it all the way in. And I started on one of the pumpkins just because. And I'm using mostly DMC. I have some things that are kind of where I picked for different ones of the pumpkins that are variegated, and I'll see when I get there. I don't know. I'm usually not one to just grab and pick my own colors because I don't feel comfortable in my ability to do that. So it doesn't happen often. Out of this book, Cows and More Cows, I'm doing this one, Gothic Cows, because it just cracks me up. I love to be surrounded by things that I think are funny, that make me smile or laugh. And this time I worked on the pitchfork. I came here, this is like here at his collar. Just because every time I've worked on this before, I've worked on the brown of his coat, and I'm so tired of working on the brown. So, like I said, I worked a little bit on the pitchfork and something else. I have to tell y'all that a week ago, week and a half, whatever, something like that, Kirsten was at home and she sent me a text saying that she went to check the mail and about 5 police cars with lights and sirens went by. We live out in the country. Nothing goes on out here. It's just the way we like it. But she came out and, like I said, all these police cars went by. So I got online and was looking, and I was listening to the fire and EMS emergency thing. Anyway, it was down around, we live pretty close to a sharp curve. It was down around the curve, down back that way. It was a domestic violence situation, but there was a standoff. I think Dax and I, by the time we were coming home, it was over with. We passed almost 30 police vehicles on the way home where they were leaving. There was the sheriff's department for our county, the police department from San Marcos. There were SWAT out here. It was a lot. There was a standoff, and like I said, anyway, the guy finally gave himself up. The woman involved refused any kind of medical treatment. So it's just kind of crazy when, because they had like the road blocked off and everything. They didn't even want anybody coming by and everything. It was, like I said, it was just crazy. And I know for a lot of people that meant that they couldn't get home. We were, like I said, it was on past us, so we were close we were in a position where we could get home no problem. But besides the fact that it was over with afterwards, but that's just crazy. And when it's happening close, it's just like, ooh. Because we didn't know originally. Kirsten just saw the police cars and something was going on. And so I told her, go in the house and lock the doors and don't go back out, because who knows if there's, an escaped convict, somebody crazy running around. Just go in the house and stay. But all's well that ends well, I guess, right? This is from a Janlin kit. These boots. This is one where I bought the kit already open and everything from someone on eBay. If I remember correctly, they had already started it, and I stitched backwards of the norm. So our stitching wasn't the same. So I restarted it on a piece of fabric that I had dyed. This is probably 18 count Ada, which is apparently my jam. But this is the side of one of the boots. When I picked it up to work on it this time, I had a whole bunch of stuff done right here, which, as you will notice, is gone. Because I was working on it, I worked my way up the side of the boot, and I was coming back down to join up with what I had already had in. And I had done all of this in the wrong color thread. And I really tried my best to get as much of the floss out intact because it is a kit, but I don't know. So anyway, once again, I don't believe there was forward progress. This is the one I'm working on, and I'm working up here at the top. I started this one in the middle, and that's right around here, I believe. So anyway, I spent as much time undoing as I had spent doing, so, right? I worked on this one this is Ukrainian Ornament, and it is from cross-stitch-patterns.eu. I don't know if that'll unblur enough to see it or not, but and here we are. This is my third attempt at this one. I'm doing a 1/1. This is probably a Hardinger. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's very, very tiny. But I have this up here was the first page, and this is on the second page. And I really only have a little bit more right here left. So I think it is very pretty. I'm a little anxious about the margins here, but I think it'll be fine. We'll see. We'll see. Same as everything else. We'll see. If not, why not start at a fourth freaking time? Let's see. For the love of cross stitch, it says to display until September 18th. Does that mean it's like an August, September 1990. That's what it says. September 1990, and they only want it displayed until the middle of the month. Anyway, it's from For the Love of Cross Stitch. I kind of like this too. I may have to do that one. But, moment, I'm doing this one. And this is on my list of 20. I'm doing it on a piece of hopscotch fabric. Trying to get my needle minder out of the way. And here we are. I'm really pleased, actually. All of this white needs to be filled in, but that's easy enough because it just needs to be filled in. I don't even have to have the pattern with me to do that. And that would finish the cow. And so I just have the wreath to bring down. When I started the year, I've only worked a tiny bit on the wreath. I had this much of the wreath, and I'm trying to remember, like, part of this, I didn't even have all of this black in, part of it, but none of the horns, none of any of that. So it would be nice if I got this one finished this year, but if not, then maybe next year, quickly next year, we'll see. This was another new start. Ooh. My needle minders are sticking together. This is a Bent Creek April Glooms. It's from their Snapper collection. I've done a different one, Mayflowers, I think. But I probably won't put the snappers on. And because I won't display them all together, I'm just doing little pillows. I'm just going to put April across the bottom. I'm not going to put in the glooms. But anyway, I just grabbed floss that looked like the colors. You know, I said I don't really do that very much, so it is out of my wheelhouse. And so here I am. I got a variegated one for the umbrella. That's where I started. And I guess I'm fussy cutting the floss because this is the floss I'm using. It is from Mad X Stitcher, and I don't think she dyes floss anymore. I don't think she has for a couple of years unless she started again. I bought like a grab bag that had a bunch of flosses in it, and this one is like greens and blues. It goes from green to kind of a dark tealy color is really where it goes. So I'm cutting it like with the green as it fades into the green. So we're starting with green and fading out down to the blue. And so I am fussy starting at the very least on, so that I'm starting with the green at the top of the umbrella, and I am doing each stitch completely as I go across and go back and forth to come down so that hopefully it'll all kind of even out. We'll see. We'll see. I had to start a little bit down on the green because when I originally started, I got the mother of all knots in my thread, and it's like I pulled it through not even all the way one time. How is this even possible? And I tried for 10 minutes to get that knot out, and finally was like, screw it, and cut it off. And so now I guess I really have to fussy cut. It was ridiculous. I do know that. Absolutely ridiculous. I was looking to see if I can see what this came out of, but I can't. This is one of them that's on my list of 20. I've made good progress. It would be nice to finish it this year, but I mean, there's still that whole barn to go, and even though they're small, that is a deceptively lot of stitches. This is a piece of linen, but it's pretty even, so it's not as bad, but I do go much more slowly. This time, I think since the last time you've seen it, I finished up the blue over here, and then I've done this much of the roof. I think it's been a long time, so I'm not sure. I told y'all there was a lot. Out of this one, April 2018, cross stitch. This is just Cross Stitch Magazine. I'm working on this one. I love working on this. I'll tell you right now. This right here is like as wide as the bunny is. But this time I've been putting in leaves, you know, and I came over here because I had the green on my needle already and filled in some of that. This is fabric that I made a mess of, and I'm hoping that I'll cover up all the ugliest parts, but we're just going to go with it. But I like the colors. I like having the things just show off as I'm working on it. I just like it. And since I don't, like on my wheel when I spin, if it says Easter, that's what I pull out because I don't have anything else going, and it's a rabbit, so we're going to pretend like it's totally Easter because I can. I'm making up the rules here. Out of Little House Needleworks, by Little House Needleworks. This is Little House chart number 1. I call it America. If I spin on my little decision roulette thing, 4th of July, this is what I'm working on since I finished that little 4th of July bunny. I guess she wasn't little, but and that pattern was gifted to me from Kimberly, the Distracted Stitcher. She used to make videos, but I don't know if she has recently. Quite frankly, for whatever reason, YouTube doesn't notify me when people I follow put out new videos. Even if I go and, you know, look at my whole subscription list where it has the little dot if there's new videos. That is absolutely not accurate. So anyway, here is where we are. I think before I had the stars and maybe a couple of lines of the flag. So I'm doing that and putting in the vine. I decided to go ahead and put in the vine through there. So that helps me with where my rows need to end on the flag. Because we cannot always depend on my counting. And out of Celebrations to Cross Stitch and Craft, Summer 1990. That's what the cover looks like. I worked on this one, Summer Spirit. Obviously, they did it on red cloth. And I did it on a piece of banding that I got from Colbin, and I finished it. Yeah. Are you paying attention? Do you see these finishes? I know. Who am I? So there you go. This only took like 2 or 3 years. It's mostly backstitch. So for any normal person, this would be like, oh, I sat down and finished it in one day. Who cares? It's done. So I actually am waiting for an Amazon delivery to FFO it because I have something in mind. I also have something in mind for my little fall scarecrow. And now I can't find it. I have out here, I won't let Dax in the garage at the moment because between storage units and auction items I've bought that are in the garage, I took all of the decorations out of the attic and they are in the garage. And I have emptied out about 3/4 of this room so that I can organize and put things away. And some of it I had started doing, but there wasn't really enough room to really do it. The garage is a nightmare, and I've told him, just don't even, just don't. So anyway, I did not intend to move that out there. I bought what I think I want to finish it. I think I have the idea in my head how I want it to go. Now I can't find it, which of course, and even in everything that I have touched and moved out of here, I still have not found the star-shaped cookie cutters to finish the one set of ornaments that I have cross-stitched for the kids. And Addison is married now, and it is time to give her her box of ornaments, of which I think maybe only one or two are actually finished. So I've got to find those. I've got to get them done. I've got to get the other ones done. And I do kind of have a deadline here, so eek. Anyway, I worked on this one, Graveyard Halloween. When I roll Halloween, this is the one that I'm working on. And when I roll a holiday or spin a holiday on my decision wheel, I go to the oldest whip I have for that holiday. And for Halloween, this one's it. And here is where I'm at. I think last time I just had the W and the E, maybe part of this one. So I finished the E and the N. And this is up here, right here. I don't know, as you can see, once again, I'm pretty close to the edge. So I'm not quite sure how far out I'm going to go with this. I mean, I know I want this in here. I may only go to right here, bring that up, and do some of, and then, you know, do this, which would mean I would have to leave off the spider web, in that button. I don't have the button. I may be okay with that because there's another spider up here and another one over here. But then, you know, look how far this comes out over here. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I don't have to make a decision right now. This fabric is a DMC fabric, one of the Charles Craft. And it is a 14 count Aida, and the color is Grasshopper. And it's some stuff that I think where it's like, what will I ever do with that? But it was on clearance, so I bought it. And I think it's going to be fantastic for this Halloween. So I worked on this one. I don't know why this is so slow going for me, because I've worked on it a lot, but it just really is. I've gotten the main part of the Dreamcatcher done. This time I worked some more on all of these little decorations at the top, and because that's all back stitching. So I came over, I did some of these. So anyway, I would really love to get that one finished. I think one of the reasons it's so slow is because even like these little flowers, I mean, they're like, this has like 5 colors in it. And so I think that's part of it. It just, everything takes so long to get progress because you spend so much time changing colors. So that's it. That's everything I stitched on. I know, already? She says as we're an hour into it. So I know I had told y'all that that Janet had sent me a box with the daily cross-stitch calendars, and she sent me 6 years worth in the box. I think that's right. And that I was going to pull things for next year, that I had enough patterns already pulled and everything to finish out this year and do part of next year, and that I was going to fill in next year with patterns from those calendars. And I did pull it out. I only went through 4 years, and I picked out 49 different things I want to do that I want to start next year. So again, next year I'll do a new start every Sunday. And you'll notice that 49 is very close to being a full year's worth of starts. I already have enough before those 49 to get me well to next year. But when I went and, because I had the box that those calendars were in stored in a tote with a couple of other things. Well, I didn't remember doing this, but when I went and opened the tote to take that box out, on top of it, I had a whole bunch of patterns that I had already put in bags to be able to get started. And there were 53 of those. So, I have a new start every week for more than the next 2 years. I've got 2023 covered. I've got 2024 covered. I've probably got halfway into 2025. What is wrong with me, y'all? But, like I said, I feel better when I've started something than if I just let it linger. So, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with 4 million whips. Y'all, this is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. I would tell you that I need an intervention, but I have no intention of changing. I want to. And with that being said, I bought a new pattern. I was watching somebody's Floss Tube, and she was doing this one, and I was like, I need that behind our bar. I just do. If it was all whiskey, that would be awesome. I've made a note to myself that I want to do this on 36 count easy grid, so I need to be looking out. But this goes at the back of the list because I don't generally start a new one when I get it, because I don't want to, ignore the old ones. Otherwise, they'd never get started. So I got plenty of time. But yeah, I bought a new pattern. Like I said, what is wrong with me? I have no business doing that. As you can see, I've been busy stitching, so I have not done any more. That's not true. I put another round on my crochet, and I get a new part every month. It's 10 months. I have not even opened the August package, and the September one just arrived. So I'm already 2 months behind out of the 3 months that I've been working on it. So I'm really hoping that, I got these finishes, and I was really pushing, especially on the flower tree one. I'm hoping that now I can do the other stuff without feeling bad. So anyway, I know in one before I showed y'all this Save the Stitches that I bought, and it was in a frame that was falling apart, and it was all yellowed and everything. So I washed it. Would you look at this? Do you see how white that is? I was watching someone else's video. Oh, now I'm not going to be able to think of her name. I wish I'd written it down. She recommended this stuff. She takes a lot of vintage embroidered like pillowcases or whatever, and she cleans them and gets any of the yellowing or staining out of them, and then she sends them off to somebody who makes those a focal point for project bags. And I will try to remember to look up her name and put it in the description. But y'all, this stuff is fantastic. I think I paid like $15 for it. It's a small bag. It's not very much at all. You only use, 3 or 4 tablespoons at a time. And it has to soak for a long time, like 24 hours. But it's just fantastic. I mean, this looks brand new. it looks like it was just done. And that's just amazing. As you can see on the pictures, they're not lying. That before and after really works like that. And the only place I could find it was on Amazon. So there you go. But look how good that came out. Now I just need to figure out what I want to do with that. If I want to reframe it, make a pillow, or what. What else? Oh, we did this yesterday for the fun run. Addison wanted. My talents are endless, y'all. People were looking at us like we were nuts. Wyatt and his girlfriend went also. And we all had those to, when they were getting close to the finish, to hold up. And people thought we were so stupid. I'm sorry. You're lame and all you've got is clapping. Come on. Come on. Anything else? I don't think so. Trying to remember any other fun things. My parents celebrated their 62nd wedding anniversary in August. That's impressive. Yeah, I think that might be all. And it was only barely an hour. Well, a little over, especially by the time I add in what we've done to Addison. I guess that's it, guys. God willing, will be back more quickly next time. And at 6 weeks, that really shouldn't be all that difficult. I thank you, everyone, for sticking it out this long. Welcome to the new subscribers. I'm so glad that you're here, and I am eternally grateful for all of y'all who come back over and over again. And just thanks, y'all. Thanks. We will see you here next time.